What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Yes, finally got the GTS hood on the car. It has been a long time coming. Ordered this hood on like November 10th, and I finally got it painted, everything sorted and taken care of. So yeah, guys, just kind of want to talk to you about this mod. The good, the bad, the ugly, just some problems that I encountered. And yeah, so I just want to hopefully help you guys in your decision if you choose to get this mod done for your F30 as well. So let's dive into it. So yeah, this mod has been a long time coming. It's been a long process, just getting it ordered, delivered, painted, PPF'd, messing with the fitment. So yeah, I ordered it like the beginning of November, like I said. Yeah, just now finished it like a week before BMW invasion. So yeah, that's why I was kind of on a time crunch to get this thing painted, cured, and then PPF'd, because yeah, I did want it fully PPF'd, and we'll discuss that a little bit later. But one of the most important things about this mod is that it will run your pockets. This is not a cheap mod. Just the hood alone, I paid $840 for it, and it is the aluminum GTS replica hood, because the OEM hood, I think it's designed specifically for the M cars. I don't think it'll work on the F30s. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but yeah, and that hood runs $5,200. So yeah, it is way more expensive, and I cannot justify putting that hood on an F30. I mean, so if you have an M car, definitely, it might even increase the value of that, but I don't see it really increasing the value of an F30. So with that being said, at the minimum, you're going to spend at least $2,000, and that's just for the hood and the paint alone. And that does not include blending the fenders. That was one of my major concerns actually with my car being sunset orange metallic. So it has metallic flaking in the paint, and that means it's going to be really hard to match it because the flakes will be like laid differently in the fenders and the bumper as opposed to the hood if it gets painted just by itself. So I don't know, I really didn't want to have to stomach the cost of blending the fenders too, because that would have been like, you know, twice the amount of just painting the hood alone, which already costs around $900. All said and done, it cost me $1,100 out the door to get it painted. And I went to DB Collision in Orlando because they have a spectrometer, and that's like a special camera that they can put up to the paint on the fender, and it'll take a picture of the paint so that they can properly match it as best as possible. So that actually really helped, and the paint match is pretty flawless. I mean, you can kind of tell if you're in like direct sunlight and you're like really like getting up close and looking at the flaking of the metallic. So I mean, it's really not a big deal for me not having to spend another $1,000 on getting the fenders and possibly the front bumper blended. And my front bumper already had PPF, so I would have had to peel that off and then pay for that all over again. So that just would have been ridiculously expensive, and I don't think that I would have saw that this mod was worth it for that kind of money. Huge shout out to DB Orlando. They did an awesome job. They got it done in time for me to have it fully cured and then PPF, because after you get an item painted on the car, you kind of want to wait 20 to 30 days depending on if they baked the item or not. So usually you want to wait those 20 to 30 days before you put any ceramic coating, sealant, or PPF on the paint, because in the meantime it's emitting gases from curing, and if you put the PPF over that, and then it'll possibly bubble, and then it's basically like you ruin the PPF and possibly the paint, I'm not sure. But yeah, so you have to redo the PPF and pay that price all over again. I definitely wanted this hood PPF'd, and that's why I didn't have the hood painted on the car, because I didn't want to have my car down and out for like 20 to 30 days. I didn't want to risk any rock chips having a freshly painted hood on my car and, you know, driving it around. I just didn't want to have the stress about that, because that would have sucked to pay $1,100 and then get a rock chip and it was just game over. Because my OEM hood had a giant rock chip in the front, like right corner, and from when I bought the car. So I initially knew I was going to get that hood repainted or just go ahead and buy the GTS hood. And with BMW invasion coming up and all that, you know, definitely wanted to stand out at the show. And I will be an indoor VIP show car contestant. So I'm super stoked, super hyped. That's next weekend. So that was clutch that DB Orlando could have got me in time to where I could let it cure and PPF it before because I'm also participating in the rally at BMW Invasion. That's on Sunday. So yeah, definitely at risk of rock chips there, but it's gonna be a great time. And then also if you're in the Orlando area, you should definitely get a quote from DB, but also Samuel's Auto Body. They do a great job. They're located in Sanford, Florida. And my buddy Ben, who helped me a lot with this hood, shout out to Ben. I'll explain to you guys in a minute, but yeah, he got his, he got an OEM GTS hood, and he had his painted there. They blended the fenders and everything, so it looks flawless because his paint is mineral white, so it has a metallic flaking too. So yeah, they did a really good job, but he paid a penny. So with the hood being freshly painted, I definitely wanted to have it PPF because it is just so worth it. You don't have to really worry about rock chips as much. I mean, if there's a giant rock that's coming in and it's hitting it, it might do some damage, but definitely won't do as much as it would without the PPF. So definitely stoked to have that on there. And I went to Detail Ground in Orlando. They're the best that I know of in the area to do detailing and PPF. They did my front bumper as well. And then when I was there getting the hood done, I also had my mirrors and B-pillars polished and PPF. So that now there's no more ugly swirl marks on the B-pillars because that soft piano black trim, it just scratches so easily just when you're washing the car and drying it too. Definitely helps there, and I'm super stoked. They did an awesome job. No complaints. I got the whole entire hood PPF, so you can't see any film lines or anything like that. They tucked it under. It is awesome. So huge shout out to those guys. Definitely, I'll leave all their information in the description below. So yeah, all in all, the hood cost me 840 bucks from European Society Motorsports, but normally it's like 925, so I got a little bit of deal on it. And the paint alone cost me 1100 bucks, and then the PPF cost 600 bucks around there for the hood. So yeah, looking at a little over 2 grand for this mod. It'll definitely run your pockets, so be prepared. So lastly, let's talk about a major concern of most, and that would be fitment. With these replica hoods, they are not a direct OEM mold. I guess it's like hard for the manufacturers to get a hold of like an exact mold, so it just never comes out as perfect as OEM. So it's never going to be 100% perfect. I mean, nothing on anyone's car is ever going to be perfect, like their whole entire car. So if you're chasing that, you're just going to go insane. So I mean, it all depends too. You should definitely contact the manufacturer that you're trying to get the hood from. Ask them about fitment issues that they might have had in the past, or if most of their hoods don't have fitment issues. You know, it's always a good idea to hit up the manufacturers and see, you know, how their customer service is and how their response time is and all that. So definitely a good thing to gauge that. But I went ahead and just ordered this hood because I got the discount, and we did the initial test fitting. Everything looked good. But I had troubles like getting the latches to double click. So definitely just keep that in mind when you're dealing with that. And it's pretty self-explanatory how to remove the OEM hood. I mean, it's just two 13mm bolts on each side that hold the hood down. And then you just transfer some of the parts for like the washer line and then the latches and the bump stops on each side. So yeah, it's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I have to go over that for you guys. So yeah, we got the hood on the car, and it looked pretty good to my liking. Like I knew I'll have to make adjustments after I get it painted, but it looked good enough for me to go ahead and get it painted. So went ahead and did that, dropped it off, had it painted, and then I just let it sit, you know, in my house, let it cure, because DB did bake it in the oven. So technically it should have been good to PPF after like 10-15 days, but I went ahead and waited about 20-30 days, I don't know, somewhere in that range. So it's been good, it worked out, no bubbling or anything like that, so we are good. A few days before my PPF appointment, I went ahead and put the hood on the car with Ben's help. Shout out to Ben again. Shout out to Ben.
I try my best, baby. Call me the GOAT.
Yeah, that's what we do. And yeah, we got it on the car, you know, messed with the fitment a little bit, but couldn't quite get it good enough. But, you know, we didn't want to spend all day on it, so we went ahead and just left it as it is, got it PPF'd, and then I made another appointment with DB, and I just dropped the car off there and then had them work their magic a little bit. And they actually got the fender gaps pretty dang even on each side, and like the body lines match up almost perfectly, probably like 98% perfect. So I'm super happy with that, but they didn't get the front bumper as good as I wanted it, so I had to mess with that on my own. And right now I'll go ahead and explain to you guys how to adjust the front bumper and some tips and tricks that I did to help it make it fit better. So I got it pretty close to even. So this side right here was my trouble area, and like this part of the front bumper was hanging so much lower than the hood, and it just looked out of whack. I mean, you can kind of see it now, there's a little bit more gap. And then this side's pretty dang good. So the only thing that I could see adjusting in the future is just trying to get this part down, like the middle part, or raising this hood up, but I don't know if that's quite possible. I mean, it's pretty good as it is for me. And I spent probably like an hour and a half last night just messing with the fitment and getting it dialed in as best as I could. So go ahead and pop the hood so I can show you guys how I adjusted the front bumper and all that. So another thing is this hood is so light, it just flies up with these OEM struts. But yeah, they painted the underside, looks good. And then so if you remove this weather stripping, you'll see these bolts all along here. These are T30s, I believe. Yeah, T30s, and then this is a T25 right here. So what I did and what Ben recommended me to do was go ahead and put some washers under here so that it would raise this part up a little bit more. But the only caveat is right here, this headlight, I don't know what you call that, bracket, I guess. So right now I got it like all the way up against the bracket, and before there was room to pull it up, so the washer definitely helped. And then I put another washer underneath this bolt right here, so it kind of adjusted that upwards as well. And then if you can like pull the bumper out and in, when you unscrew all these outer screws along the weather stripping, and then if you can also kind of play with it up and down by unscrewing these, and these are I think a T30 as well. So there's just 4 of those, and once you unscrew those, you don't unscrew them all the way, but you just unscrew them enough to where there's play, and then you can kind of adjust it. Like I really had to like put some force in it and then like tighten these down and just keep messing with it, keep closing the hood, opening it, and just adjusting from there. So that really helped, because before it was not looking good to my liking. It was really bothering me. So I'm glad I got it, you know, probably like 95% good enough for me. Another thing with this hood being aluminum and so light, it's just like much harder to close. On the OEM hood, I would just like let it drop and it would latch on its own, but like this one, oh, gotta like really push on it. There we go. Man, I totally forgot. So what also helped me to bring the like hood down closer to the fender on this side was unscrewing the latch a little bit more, and then also tightening the bump stops. So I unscrewed the latch a little bit more just so it would like, or actually I tightened it, my bad. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. I tightened the latch more. That way it would have less room and it would grab sooner for the latch, and it would hug itself closer to the front of the bumper. So that is what was the game changer and helped me getting the fitment dialed in. And then also like tightening the bump stops as much as possible, getting them like super small so that it has more room to come down. So yeah, those are my tips and tricks. Huge shout out to Ben sitting on FaceTime with me in my garage, just tinkering with it, going like back and forth. So finally got it, you know, good enough to my liking to where I don't regret spending all that money on the mod and all that stuff. So super stoked and grateful for that. So yeah guys, other than all of those potential issues that you can run into, and just like headaches, dealing with appointments, blah blah blah, all that, being out of a car, I believe this mod is totally worth it. You know, it's really not that bad, I'm just exaggerating, but yeah, just like the overall aggressiveness, and just really like separates my car like apart from a lot of other cars. And you know, with all the other exterior mods, the wheels, the M Performance trim, you know, it just completes the look, makes it so much more aggressive. In addition to the awesome looks, the aggressive style, it also is like half the weight of the OEM hood, so there is form and function. And also with the hood vent, you hear the intake a lot more. It sounds freaking awesome. So yeah, you just hear the intake just breathing so much more. And but a negative to that is you also hear the engine tick a lot more and like the engine noises, but that's not a big deal to me. So another thing I wanted to point out is the field of view will change when you're driving, just because of like the bulge in the middle of the hood. As you can see from this video, just when you're driving, it looks totally different from the OEM hood. So that's just something that you'll adjust to, and I mean, it's once again not a big deal. That's going to wrap up this video, and that is my full review of the BMW F30 replica GTS hood. So I hope you guys like this video. I'm just trying to keep it real with you guys, show you guys what I went through dealing with this mod and getting it dialed in as best as I could. So make sure you like this video, subscribe for future content. We got a lot more coming up. We got BMW Invasion next weekend. So yeah, stay tuned guys, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Peace out.